All right. 10:09. Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Water and Power Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. This meeting is being broadcast on Channel 35. For specific broadcast times, please contact Channel 35 directly. Board of Water and Power Commissioners, please stay present for roll call. President Marks.
Present.
Vice President KATZ.
Present.
Commissioner Ortega.
Present.
Commissioner PINDER.
Present.
Commissioner TRAN. For board members, a quorum is present. Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Today is a sad day for us, but a happy day for Nancy Sutley. What I'd like to do, using the prerogative of being the president, is to take something out of order and move agenda item N12 up to the front before we do public comments and before we do anything else. We'll make it a special item. This is to approve a resolution honoring the service of Deputy Mayor Nancy H. Sutley for her service to the Department of Water and Power and the City of Los Angeles. There's a resolution which we will be presenting to Nancy in a moment. But first you have to suffer through all of the accolades that we're all going to make for you. So sorry about that, but they're well deserved. What I'd like to do first, on my own behalf, is say thank you, because getting to know you in the short time, through the appointment process and being on the commission, it's an honor and it's a privilege and a pleasure as well.
Could I take a little moment of privilege and ask that Ms. Sutley move over one seat?
Oh, thank you.
Then I can see her better.
Yes.
Come sit up
Even
here.
that's
Yes.
better. Oh,
Come sit up here.
wonderful.
That's good.
I'm going to have to answer any questions.
Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you.
No, and if you get anything wrong, you can just correct me, just shout it out. But what I'd like to read into the record, the resolution that we'll be presenting to you in a moment, and then invite comments from others here. So this is the resolution honoring the service of Nancy Sutley. Whereas Nancy Helen Sutley is a native of Queens, New York, the child of first-generation immigrants from Argentina, and attended Bronx High School of Science. Whereas Ms. Sutley earned a Bachelor of Arts in Government from Cornell University and a Master of Public Policy from Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government, equipping her with strong educational background and rigorous policy training that has been the foundation of her profound and illustrious career in local, state, and federal government. And whereas Ms. Sutley has a distinguished record of public service with expertise in sustainability and environmental regulation, including her previous position as chair of the White House Council on Environmental Quality, appointed by President Barack Obama, where she played a central role in the administration's 2013 Climate Action Plan and advocated for environmental justice and community health. And whereas Ms. Sutley also served as Deputy Mayor for Energy and Environment for the City of Los Angeles, appointed by Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, board member of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, appointed by Mayor Eric Garcetti, member of the California State Water Resources Control Board, Energy Advisor to Governor Gray Davis, Deputy Secretary for Policy and Intergovernmental Relations at the Environmental Protection Agency, and Senior Policy Advisor at the US EPA during the Clinton administration. And whereas Ms. Sutley joined the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power in 2014 as Chief Sustainability and Economic Development Officer, and later became Senior Assistant General Manager of External and Regulatory Affairs and Chief Sustainability Officer, where she oversaw customer service operations, public affairs, energy efficiency, and water conservation programs. And whereas in her time with LADWP, Ms. Sutley spearheaded the opening of the La Kretz Innovation Campus and led the commissioning of the John Ferraro Building, where we're sitting now, as a LEED Gold facility, while also advancing transportation electrification and coordinating the Clean Grid LA initiative. And whereas Ms. Sutley is retiring from the City of Los Angeles as Deputy Mayor of Energy and Sustainability appointed by Mayor Karen Bass in 2023, culminating her instrumental leadership with the completion of the Mayor's Climate Implementation Plan. And whereas Ms. Sutley, a proud Latina of Jewish heritage and member of the LGBTQ community, supported inclusion and celebrated diversity in the LADWP and the City of Los Angeles' workforce. It says, and was, I will add, and is well-liked. And respected by colleagues and staff for her approachability, candor, and mentorship. And whereas Ms. Sutley is a well-regarded national leader in advancing policies about clean energy, water resources, climate resilience, habitat restoration, and equity to benefit communities across Southern California and beyond. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Water and Power Commissioners, on behalf of LADWP and the residents of Los Angeles, hereby recognizes and commends Nancy H. Sutley for her lifelong dedication to public service, her steadfast and unwavering commitment to the environment, and legacy in sustainability at all levels of government. We'll vote on this in a moment, but first, some applause for all of that. And I would invite our fellow commissioners, if they have any comments, to please do so. Commissioner TRAN is absent. I'm sure he would also send good wishes, but.
May I start?
Yes,
Sure.
Thank you.
Commissioner Pinder.
The first time I ever heard your voice, it was pre my becoming a commissioner. I don't know if you've had any regrets about that. But it was a conversation. I was jet lagged just coming back from Antarctica, and I heard your name, but this has to be a joke. And so I want to apologize for kind of being a flop when you were first speaking to me and starting to vet me as to whether I might be capable. But I very quickly caught up, and first of all, I made it my business to find out more about you. Too bad you didn't find out more about me. But be that as it may, you are simply wonderful. All the things you've done. But the moment you walk into a room, we all feel a little more energized, a little more charged, because you're there. And you bring so much from so many various places, as was articulated in that resolution. It has been an honor to know you. It has been an honor to be someone that you inquired about. I am humbled by even coming to your attention. Thank you.
Thank you. As someone who's worked long in environment and sustainability, your impact on our city, your impact on my career started long before this relationship and serving as commissioner under you, which has been truly an honor. You know, from the time you were in Villaraigosa's administration, and I won't repeat everything in the resolution, you know, through this latest climate plan, the impact that you've had on our city, the impact that you've had here at DWP. You know, I had the privilege of working with staff here at DWP in the sustainability world long before I was commissioner, and I know what an impact your leadership made for that office and for the structure of sustainability at DWP. And then in this latest role as mayor, this climate plan that you've led the development of is going to have an impact long, long after you've left the city. So I've been long inspired by your career, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to serve more closely with you. You're going to be really, really missed. I'm sure you've heard this from all of us, but it's been so impactful for the department to have your leadership in this role with the city. And we're just really fortunate that you'll be continuing to serve on the board of MWD, and that we'll hopefully get to interact and still think about planning the future of water in Southern California together. But you've certainly earned some break as well. So I hope that you do take some time for yourself and do good things. And again, just all of my gratitude for this opportunity to serve with you, to learn from you. It's been incredible, and we're very grateful. Thank you.
So Nancy, it's a privilege, really, truly, to get to know you and the many different hats that I wear, from Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, working on that, brings from the tribe aspects as well, and but, your wealth of knowledge will carry on, as many folks are here are saying. I just want to thank you for going through the interviews with me as well, to be on this commission here. It's been a privilege overall, but wish you all the best and success and retirement as much as you possibly can take. The NWD part, I think you can take us commissioners to the Delta tour, and then we can do that. But other than that, congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'd like to invite Dave Hansen, Interim General Manager, to make some comments.
There it is. I love to make comments. Nancy, I don't know if you remember, but I met you when Jason and I were in the WEI Business Acumen program, and we had to interview you as part of our assignment. And Jason walked into the office as polished as he always is, and I think my knuckles were literally dragging on the ground as I came in behind him. And that was the first time I really got to talk with you and learn a little bit of your perspective. And, through an amazing career, you've done amazing things here. You got this building LEED certified, our beautiful JFB, involved in the Lacrette's Innovation Campus. I mean, there's just so many things that you've been involved with. I've always appreciated your ears, so I can come and bring dumb ideas to you, and you politely tell me, no, that's pretty dumb. And then the other 90% we keep moving forward with. So on behalf of the Department of Water and Power, we want to thank you for your contribution here and through the mayor's office. It's been a pleasure to know you, and I look forward to voting for you for President of the United States someday.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Next, I'd like to turn to Anselmo Collins for the water system.
Give me a second. Yeah, I know. I just broke my back probably. But before I give you this, so Nancy, I've known you now for many, many years in different roles that you've had. When you were the Chief Sustainability Officer, then when you became Deputy Mayor, we spent an awful lot of time working on the Climate Cabinet, working with LA in delivering resource or reuse projects. Until this day, just yesterday, we had a pretty extensive meeting to continue to further that relationship. But the other hat that you wear is as Met Director on behalf of the City of LA. And I got to tell you that you have no idea how much I appreciate your leadership there. You have been a very strong advocate for all the City of LA, protecting its water rights and water supply, but also the rates that our ratepayers pay. Because as you know, as a member agency, we pay 15-20% of everything that happens at Metropolitan. And it's great to have somebody like you. I think that you have demonstrated your leadership at the board of Metropolitan and with the other 4 members of the LA delegation. I'm so glad that you're not leaving that post, because I think there's an awful lot of work that needs to be done. But just in general, you've always been somebody who is very supportive of staff. You give us great advice. You do it in a very casual way, too, which is kind of interesting. You kind of go, well, you may want to consider doing it this way. So that's a very polite way of saying, no, dummy, you need to redirect. But like I said, on behalf of the water system, we want to thank you for all the years of service and for the continued service that you're going to give the City of LA as a member of the Metropolitan Board. And as we typically do, when somebody is retiring at a certain level from the department, we want to show our appreciation. So what I have here is, and I'm going to stand up and turn it around so you can see it, and I'm going to put it down quickly because it's darn heavy. I think I was through my back, but what this is a 2-inch globe valve that actually came out from a pressure regulating station at Wildemar and Sunset. So you get to take this home, so when you put it in the mantle, you can remember the water system. The plaque reads, Nancy H. Sutley, Deputy Mayor of Energy and Sustainability, July 2014 to August 2026. Water system thanks you for your leadership, dedication, support, and guidance. Thank you.
Thank you.
And let me give this to you now.
Thanks.
I'll bring it to you, don't worry.
Oh, cool.
I'll put it right here.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Let us plan to have someone go with her.
I know, that looks so
Go like this.
Thank you.
And the regulator valve, Nancy, is so that you can feel no pressure.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice.
That was very funny, by the way, sir.
Very funny.
Thank you, sir, for lying to me so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. For the power system, I'd like to invite Jason Rondu to make some comments.
Well, very, very sad to see, Nancy, you retiring. As everyone else has said, very glad that you'll stay on in that board role. I've had the pleasure to work with you over a number of years, and there's a few things that I just wanted to share with everyone here that you've taught me, and I think you've taught this organization. And this won't even begin to scratch the surface of the legacy that you left here, but these are things that are particularly important to me. I think one is you taught an organization, the power system, the importance of energy efficiency at a time that I think a lot of folks here didn't fully appreciate how important that was going to be in the future. And I still remember when we reorganized energy efficiency to the power system from joint, and you called me, and when you call me, I know that it's important because you don't call often, but when you do, it's important. You said, what exactly are you doing with energy efficiency? And I think it was because even though you had moved on to the mayor's office, you still deeply cared about that. And I reassured you that, no, we still do care about it, and we're actually adding to it and building it up a little bit, and we're fostering that. So that's a legacy that you can count on us really deeply appreciating and building on and carrying on after you left. I think the second item is the way that we engage our environmental partners and community-based organizations, and I think we often patted ourselves on the back about the way that we engaged and how often we engaged. But you brought a level of, I think, credibility where it kind of taught us that the sustained engagement, the deeper engagement was more important. And I think if you look at the way we engaged some of our partners when you began your time with this organization and today, I would say that we are a leader in the way that we engage and the way that we plan our power system, and that's in large part due to the legacy that you brought. And the last one, I think, is a level of humility. You heard the board president talk about your accomplishments and your accolades, and when we work with you, you brought a level of humility that would not it would never dawn on anybody that you brought, that level of, you're a powerhouse. And I think that's, one thing that I figured out really quickly is when we went to Sacramento, the first time I went with you, we couldn't go from office A to office B without 20 people darting straight towards you to say hi. So I think you will be missed, but your legacy will live on because you really, brought a level of passion and a level of humility that I think is unmatched. The last thing that I will say is you often would say that the cheapest electron is the one that you don't produce. And the bad news is we've gotten so efficient that it's too efficient to meter, and our power meter is not here today. You got the water valve, but you did not get the power meter. So that's the bad news. The good news is you can't retire for another 2 weeks because we had planned to deliver that to you 2 weeks from now. So I will still get up. I'll join you for a quick picture, and I will thank you for us being so efficient that we no longer have to meter the energy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Joe Ramallo for communications. I'd like to invite you to communicate.
Thank you very much. And Nancy, thank you. We go way back. We've probably started around 2005, 2006 in the first administration over in the mayor's office. It's been an honor to work with you and to actually work for you and to serve with you. At various times, Nancy and I have been colleagues. At other times, she's been my boss. And always someone who was available supportive, always had great advice. I've never met somebody with such a, so much power but so little ego. And it really is a tremendous reputation I think you carry everywhere you go, and why a lot of reason why everyone respects you for what you know, but also for how you carry yourself. In terms of politics, very few people I've ever met who are as astute as you are, and just really appreciate your guidance, your advice over the years. You did something really hard here at DWP. You created something new. A new organization, and one that has lasted and has had a lasting impact. Everything, like Jason said, from energy efficiency to our stakeholder partnerships and engagement in the community, really lending that credibility, your credibility, to this organization in a way that we benefit from every day and will continue to. So thank you so much. You've been a wonderful friend, a mentor, always an ear to listen, and I really appreciate everything you've done and wish you all the best in your retirement.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. I'd like to also invite some remarks from our board secretary, Shantae Mitchell.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
You changed my whole life. I have 4 people in my life, including you, that will never leave. I'll never leave them. And that's an example of the person that you are. You have incredible people that are fiercely loyal and dedicated to you, that are some of the most intelligent and incredible people that I've ever met. And you gave me the gracious, incredible gift of allowing me to meet them and know them. Thank you, Nancy. We care about you so much. Nancy, I want to talk about your leadership. I've been with the city for almost 20 years. You're the only person who's ever hired me twice. So hopefully you like me. But the reason why I wanted to work for you twice is because you literally put air beneath me. And so the autonomy that you provided me and allowed me to grow in my role in serving you allowed me to live up to your expectation and do the very best that I could to always exceed them, because you're incredible. The resolution that we have doesn't speak enough about all of the things you've done for this planet as far as sustainability goes. I don't know Mary Nichols, but in my mind, you're the queen of green, okay? And that's how it's gonna be until I meet her. The other part of it is you're the definition of humble. So like when I wanna kind of calm myself down and push my ego down, I think of how you would handle things, right? And so when I worked for you, you would have so many like awards and trophies and accolades with like in the box still with dust on them. And I would go, Nancy, can you please let me put this stuff up? And you'd be like, There were people that I'm not going to name drop because you know everybody on the face of the planet. Like, can I put these pictures up? You're like, no, don't do it. But you did have pictures up with your sister, your brother, your mother, and your father. And so I always think about you when I think of all of the things I think are important. They're not. All of the things I don't think are important actually are. And you've taught me how to slow down and care for all of the people that care for me just the way you do. You take care of everyone, and we're happy. We're willing and wanting to take care of you because you're such an incredible leader and person. Thank you, Nancy, for everything that I can't say. You're one of the funniest people I know, but it takes a while to get there. Like when we're all relaxed, you have us in tears laughing. So Nancy, this is not goodbye, but I'll see you later. And I just wanted to take this time to thank you because I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you.
While they are walking to take a picture, we don't need to go to church next time.
We don't need to go anywhere. That was a tribute to this entire office. Thank you so much for your remarks. Oh, really emotional.
And before we invite you up to take a picture with us, we're going to vote to approve your resolution.
Oh, thanks.
I always believe in actually approving it
Yes.
properly before we go through the hoops. I'll also say again, we'll talk more privately, but just publicly, everything everybody said is a testament and a proof that you emulate that strong leaders are not the loudest leaders. And continue to achieve things. We're inspired by you.
Thank you.
Madam Secretary, if you have a breath, if you could call the
Board
roll.
President?
Oh, wait, I need a motion. Sorry.
Board President, we have one more.
Oh, we do, I'm sorry.
From
I'm
joint,
so sorry.
from the joint divisions.
Thank you, please, Ann.
It's one more of those plaques that's going to be dusty in a dusty box that's going to sit in your home office. But just wanted to thank you so much from all of the joint divisions. I know there were a few years where we would have Monday afternoon meetings trying to figure out how we were going to green the systems, how we were going to pay for it. And Nancy always included all of us. And everything that has been said is so true. You're so humble. We have a big problem, and you would immediately come and just say, well, and then give us a great roadmap that we could easily pursue to get us to the finish line. And you even listened when we thought we couldn't do some things, and you just let us sit with it until we could get to yes and make a big positive difference. So on behalf of the joint divisions, we wanted to present you with a plaque to thank you for all your service and congratulate you for all you've achieved.
Thank you, Ann. Do I have a motion from any of the commissioners to approve the resolution? And item N12 on the agenda.
Motion to now, after all of these remarks, I can't be in denial anymore that you really, I'm starting to lose it too, but motion to approve item 12, which is a resolution honoring the service of Deputy Mayor Nancy H. Sutley.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll for the vote.
President Marks,
Aye.
Vice President KATZ,
Aye.
Commissioner Ortega,
Aye.
Commissioner Pinder,
Aye.
4 ayes, motion adopted.
And if I can ask you, Deputy Mayor Sutley, if you could please come forward, we'll take a picture. And please come back and make some remarks if you like, and then Anselmo will help you move the meter.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really very honored, very humbled. And thank you all for all the kind words. You know, it's hard to sort of think about what this experience has meant to me. When I walked in the door here in 2014, I thought I knew what I was getting myself into, but clearly I did not. But it's really been an incredible honor and a pleasure to work with this department, with all of you over these years. My first time in the mayor's office under Mayor Veracruz, and coming back after my time in DC, and just a big thanks to everyone. I should thank Marcy Edwards, who was general manager at the time and who was looking for a chief sustainability officer and called me one day as I think I was walking around Silver Lake Reservoir trying to get a little exercise, and she called and asked if I would consider doing this, and it really has been an incredible journey over these last 12 years, being able to help uplift some of the incredible work that goes on throughout this department, how important this department is to the city of Los Angeles and everything that people who live here experience. I've often said that, what you see from City Hall is the one department that every Angelino has a relationship with is the Department of Water and Power. And just incredible work that goes on all throughout. And the folks out in the field keeping the lights on and the water running, to our customer service reps who always get incredible reviews for their kindness and helpfulness to people who generally are calling them when they are in trouble or experiencing a hardship. And the incredible professionalism of everyone across the board, from the attorneys and the accountants and the finance people to the public affairs folks who translate complicated concepts for the public, to everybody who plans and executes and builds and maintains and operates. It really is just such an incredible asset for the city, and really making Los Angeles the great city that it is. Yeah, and to Shantae and the crew here, well, many of them have been with me a long time. It is really important in these roles. The most important thing is the people that you work with, because if you can't figure out how to work with people, all the great ideas in the world aren't going to help. So I just feel very fortunate to have been able to work with so many people across the department, from the environmental affairs folks and real estate folks, and customer service and intergovernmental, and then, of course, with the power and the water system and the rest of the joint system. It really, this is the definition of it takes a village. It really does take a village to keep this place running. So there's a lot of stuff I'm proud to be associated with. We were just up at Tillman with the mayor. An incredible project, incredible cooperation, collaboration, working together with another city department. Was fortunate to go up with the mayor to the ALLAN opening, an incredible project that, even the company said, DWP really drives a hard bargain, and that's a lot to be proud of. Being here through lots of ups and downs. Won't mention the day a certain armed federal agency showed up, but through COVID and through the fires and through good times and bad times, that what's constant here is just an incredible level of professionalism to keep Los Angeles running. So I'm very honored to have played a small part in that, and to thank each and every one of you for your friendship and your support. And I'm going to keep bugging Anselmo because I'm on the Met board. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to the minutes and the public comment after that, do any other commissioners have any other remarks about anything, any topics? Okay. In that case, the minutes from the previous meeting, which was April 14th, 2026, have been distributed. Does anybody have any corrections or comments on the commission?
Nope.
Okay, fine. In that case, is there a motion to approve agenda item D, the minutes?
Motion to approve D.
Any second?
Second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll to approve the minutes.
I guess
from
it's
April 14th.
D1. Sorry, I should have
D1.
said the number.
Thank you.
President Marks,
Aye.
Vice President KATZ,
Aye.
Commissioner Ortega,
Aye.
Commissioner Pinder,
Aye.
4 ayes, motion adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we move to public comment, Madam Secretary.
I'm sorry. Public comment is open at this time. Members of the public who wish to speak will have 2 minutes per item with a maximum of 5 minutes total. If you choose to speak on a specific item, your comments must remain on topic. Otherwise, your time may be forfeited. You will be verbally notified when your allotted time has expired. I have 2 public commenters at this time. The first is Lily Friedland.
Hi, I'm going to be speaking on behalf of my mom. We were here last on November 18th. She is still receiving incredibly high electrical, water, and sewage bills. She lives alone and spending over $1,000 a month, so each of her bills are between $2,200 and $2,500. We have brought out 10 very reputable plumbers, foundation experts, mold removal companies, contractors, and we've all certified in writing that there is nothing wrong with anything in her house. And we have had the site visit from Dwayne Jackson in February, and yet she's still receiving these, abnormally high bills. Her the sewage, that is $350 for a single person, which is really just crazy. And it's nobody is able to help her. I'm glad all of our calls are recorded because she has made multiple phone calls. The advocate, the ratepayer advocate, was basically non-existent during this last 6 months since we've last been here. And so we're asking for not only an administrative stay on all the Tier 3 charges, but we want this moved to a high-level dispute.
These are water bills?
It's everything.
Or power too?
It's power, it's water, it's the sewage that within a year, it went from like $75 to $350. For one person.
Joe,
Mr. Board President, we can review the account fully, provide a report to the board as to what the findings were. We partner with our staff and power system for meter services and field investigations. It sounds like there was a field investigation that was conducted. We can take a look at what the findings were, if there were any issues or observations that they made with respect to the meter, its accuracy. They will test meters as well. Ultimately, if there's still a dispute or disagreement, there is an appeals process for customers who disagree with their bills that they could avail themselves of. If you'd like, I can have someone from Customer Relations. You may have already met with them before, but they can certainly take your information again today and follow up in order to provide that information to the board.
We will do that, and we will need to take this to appeals if this is not going to be addressed. But
They'll also explain the process for disputing the sanitation charges. Those are not levied by our board, but they are on our bill. So we can walk you through that process and put you in touch with the right folks at LA Sanitation.
Great, and it's not fair. It's almost to the point of it's like elderly abuse, and I don't say that lightly because she's a highly competent individual. Like she uses AI more than like 99.9% of the world, highly competent, and yet we are constantly on the phone with LADWP for years, and this is our second time here. And we're bringing in all the experts, and nobody's helping us get answers. So we would really appreciate, again, high-level resolution, like focus, because it's costing her $12,000 to $15,000 a year.
And I'm very sorry for your experience to date and that you haven't had resolution. and we will work with you. We have a case manager that will assign to it to see it through, that will coordinate across the department in determining what's going on and how best we can provide information to you about what's happening with your bill. Okay?
Okay, I appreciate it. That was a lovely ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Friedland, we're going to get your phone number and account number, okay?
Oh, yeah, we're not leaving until we get to the next steps.
Christian, who's our manager of customer relations, his team handles elevated cases like this.
Okay,
and
we
we'll be
met with
happy to
him
work
last
you.
time.
Okay.
Just for the record.
Understood.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Stephen Rodis. Stephen Rodis.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Steve Rados. I'm with Steve P. Rados Incorporated. We're in the construction business. My dad started in Los Angeles 104 years ago. We bid a Department of Water and Power project. I was here 2 weeks ago because I thought it was going to be on the board agenda then, and then they said it was maybe this week. But since I'm here, I might as well explain. We were about an $88 million job. The second bidder, Kiewit, was $4.5 million above us. Because we did not turn in one piece of paper with our bid, simply stating that one of our suppliers, in our estimation, turning in that form for the supplier, and what it is it's an ethics form. It's for contributors, that they're not contributing, I guess, to DWP personnel or whatever it's for, I'm not sure. But it specifically said for subcontractors, we did not turn it in. It specifically said it's not for material suppliers. So the ready-mix contract or company that's supplying us ready-mix and that's going into the ditch for backfill is not required to have one. We're currently working for LA County Sanitation in Torrance. We're building a plant for them. All of our truckers there. We have a purchase agreement for them. None of them are contractors. We do not consider truckers subcontractors, and I don't think any other contractor does. We never have, and I think if you go out anywhere on any of your jobs, you will not find truckers with a contractor's license. So that one form could have been very easily put in the next couple of weeks. Like your Iran-Contra form is supposed to be turned in with the bid, but your form says whenever you ask for it, which we did. When you asked for this form for the trucker, we turned it in. So this would cost, this one piece of paper that was not turned in because we don't believe it was required, would cost the Department of Water and Power, the LA City, $4.5 million to go to the second bidder. And we just don't feel that's reasonable. We believe we are the low responsive bidder.
Speaker, thank you for your remarks. Your time allotment has expired.
Our appeal was, our protest was denied, and we've now, per the specs, filed an appeal of that protest denial. I have one for the general manager, Mr. Hanson, and one for each of the board members if they would look at it. And I'd appreciate somebody letting me know when they'll discuss it or when we could discuss it.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank you for your time.
Appreciate it, and thank you for coming again. Is there some? They'll follow up. You'll follow up? Okay.
Go ahead.
Public comment is closed at this time.
Okay, thank you. And take noticing also of comments that were delivered electronically. We had some.
We did not.
No, you can't.
There were none.
Oh, none. Okay, good. At this point, then, I'll turn it over to Interim General Manager Dave Hansen for management reports.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Commissioners. We want to share the sad news of our former General Manager, David Wiggs, passed away earlier this month. David served as the LADWP General Manager from 2001 to 2004. And he returned to the department in 2014, serving as the Senior Assistant General Manager over the power system, and then as the CAO. He had an incredible impact here at the department and on Los Angeles, and he was notably the galvanizing force behind our 2015 rates case, and he led that effort. I want to extend my condolences to David's family for their loss, as well as my sincerest appreciation for his leadership at the department. Yesterday, as you're aware, we had the Executive Directive 19 press event here at the building outside. And this is a big step towards predictability in the construction arena. We've talked to the board extensively about the power new business process and the efforts that we're putting forward to streamline that approval process, as well as put some additional staffing out there. We've talked about the concierge service. It's kind of all part and parcel for revitalizing our construction industry here in LA. And the word that keeps echoing around when everybody's talking about this is predictability. You can't get financing for your project, for your building. You're not going to be able to get your project approved as a private builder if nobody understands what the timelines are. And unfortunately, we are the unpredictable part of that predictability. So we're working on that. Mr. Jason Rondu is tracking that at a high level with Emil Abdel-Shahid from the New Business Group. Jason, you want to talk a little bit about the new business efforts?
I'll just add to what General Manager Hansen said, in that, as this board knows, and we presented to this board a few months ago, we have a sort of a holistic plan to address some of these issues. But I think what we need to do is focus on a lot of the near-term, immediate impacts that we can have. Following this new executive directive, we're establishing a strike team. We proposed the word tiger team, but the members of that tiger team felt like strike team was a little bit more appropriate. What we're going to be doing is kicking off weekly Monday morning strike team meetings. Dave is going to be very involved in that. We really view this as kind of the spearhead of what we need to do. It's a long-standing issue that we need to address, and we've talked about why it exists and how it evolved to this point. We believe that we understand kind of how we got to this point, where we need to be, and what it's going to take to get this done, and to hold ourselves and the organization accountable. Dave has asked that we begin to file a monthly board report that shows data on the progress and the initiatives that we're going to do. So we will be doing that, I believe, starting next month. And we will be reporting to you the progress and the accomplishments. And we're excited about this, but we know that this is not going to be easy to sort of address and solve, because if it was, it would have been done already. But we understand the importance, and we're up to the task.
Thank you. I'll observe. I was happy to be at the press conference yesterday with you, with the mayor, and to talk to her briefly about it. It is a key priority for the city, and I appreciate that you'll be reporting on it monthly, because I know we asked for that, and make sure we have the metrics and benchmark, on how quickly things are improving, because I think the plan is a good one. I think it is executable, and the test will be, a year from now, what will things be different, and will developers and contractors and homeowners and property owners be able to tell us that they're, pleased that we are now able to prosecute and execute on new business connections, line extensions, and so forth. So very important. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, the proof will be in the pudding. Every time the mayor mentions this at a press event, it gets a little more real each time. Okay, it's time to produce now. So we definitely are including, it's a collaborative effort. We're definitely including our partners at IBW Local 18, because it'll be a team lift to get this into the end zone for sure. And speaking of that collaboration, we went to the LA sanitation project at the Tillman plant. Anselmo and I were accompanied by Vice President KATZ, and it was a great event. And at that event, Mayor Bass unveiled her climate action plan, and it was great to be a part of that. It was an amazing project, again, collaboration, and it got us thinking about the EV charger issues and our clean fleet. We have the LA 100 plan for the power side. We have Pure Water LA goals on the water side, but we haven't had an overall encompassing plan for fleet, and completely cleaning that and setting some goals for ourselves. So Jason and I will be talking with Dr. Helm. I see you hiding behind the podium there. We're going to be putting together a LA 100 style plan for electrifying our fleet and cleaning up the entire fleet, along with electrification. We have a contract in development in our substation group too for capital, on the capital construction side, for low voltage solar and EV chargers. So that'll kind of all be part of that same program. And then we'll come back to the board and talk more about that.
Good.
Vice President KATZ, did you have anything about Tillman?
Just I would echo your comments. It's a project that we are so very proud of, and it was wonderful to have it highlighted for the mayor's climate action plan launch. As a Valley native, I am extra appreciative of Tillman's impact on the San Fernando Valley as well as the entire city, and I do really think the work by the whole team, but especially the project leads, Ryan Thea and Jesus Gonzalez, really do showcase the best of what the city can be when our departments work together. So I was really glad that it got highlighted as part of this historic launch. And this climate action plan, really so much of it hinges on this department and the work that you all are doing. It's a very impactful plan in the way that it takes an integrated approach to thinking about climate resilience, water, power, green infrastructure, nature-based solutions, all of it. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but Tillman's definitely a shining example. So thank you.
Very good. Last month, we tried to play our engineering recruitment video, and we had some technical issues, so I believe we're ready to unveil that now.
Take two.
Take two.
Now's a great time to work as an engineer at LADWP because there's so many different opportunities and career paths that you can follow. You can work on projects to expand local water supplies, fortify the power grid, and work toward a clean energy future.
As engineers, we have the exciting opportunity to lead the way towards building an environmentally responsible future for the city of Los Angeles.
At LADWP, we are facilitating the process by providing funding for EV charging stations throughout the city.
You can help lead the way towards the sustainable water and power future for Los Angeles.
At LADWP, we lead the way through innovation. We work on impactful projects that provide reliable and sustainable water and power for our community.
Join us today and help build the future of Los Angeles.
Yay. All right. Thanks to our engineering and recruitment department for...
I'm ready to sign up and work.
Yeah, I know, right? We have a Lineman
video.
Appreciation Day. Now we're going to start engineer, right, Jason and Anselmo? Yes, sir. All right. Okay, so also we hosted another fantastic event at the Chatsworth Nature Preserve, the City of LA's only designated nature preserve, at the end of last month to celebrate the spring equinox. We welcomed approximately 1,000 guests to the preserve, which we hosted in partnership with the Fernandeño Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. The event kicked off with traditional Native American blessing performed by the Mission Indians, and LADWP officials and council member John Lee provided remarks. The attendees were able to enjoy the live animal exhibits, face painting for the kids, a bird observation station, and electric safety demo, and aqueduct demo. It was another wonderful event, giving the community an opportunity to celebrate the nature world while also delivering an important reminder of the responsibility we all carry in protecting natural spaces. The spring equinox event at the Chatsworth Nature Preserve is a nice lead into the next topic, Earth Day. Earth Day was last Wednesday, April 22nd, and it gives us an opportunity to celebrate the beauty of our planet, to reflect on what more our organization can do to support our natural world, and to take action to make our city more resilient. So much of our work is tied to making LA a more sustainable, climate-resilient city, and for many of the people in this room, in this building, at our facilities across the region, and out in the field, every day is Earth Day. And finally, this Saturday, May 2nd, will be the Women's Career and Wellness Expo. This is the 4th annual event in partnership with IBEW Local 18. This is going to be located at our Truesdale Training Facility in Sun Valley, the same place where we have the Lyman's Rodeo on May 16th, a couple weeks after this. This is a family-friendly event, and we look forward to everybody attending if you can make it. And that's the end of my report.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments from commissioners or questions for management? Okay, then we'll turn to the ratepayer advocate, Tim O'Connor.
Thank you, President Marks. The ratepayer advocate provided written comments on 2 items before the board today. On item number 2 and item number 6, we are available, obviously, for any discussion on those items. Recommend approval of those as important and expedient for the department operations and resources. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
In that case, I'd like to see if there's any items that any commissioner wants to call as special before we do the consent vote. Anything?
None here, thank you.
Fine. So we have already approved item N12, so that leaves items N1 through N11. Madam Secretary, is that correct?
That is correct.
That's correct. Okay, fine. Is there a motion from a commissioner to approve on a consent basis items N1 through N11?
I would so move.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Marks?
Aye.
Vice President KATZ?
Aye.
Commissioner Ortega?
Aye.
Commissioner Pinder?
Aye.
4 ayes, motion adopted.
Good. Thank you very much. Does any commissioner have a report on committee activity?
I think I gave most of mine last time. Thank you.
In that case, we'll move on to the filed items. There's one, item K1, the vacancy reporting in accordance with Government Code Section 3502.3. Any questions or comments on that item? Hearing none, I'll ask the Commission Secretary to please order item K1 as filed.
So filed.
Anything from neighborhood council representatives?
No community impact statements were filed for any agenda items.
Fine. So that, I think, then moves us into closed session. So I would ask the Valerie Flores from the City Attorney's Office if you could please give us the purpose and statutory authority for closed session items.
Thank you. The board shall recess into closed session for a conference with legal counsel regarding several items. The first involves existing litigation, and we go into closed session under California Government Code Section 54956.9D1 in the case called the People of the State of California and Great Basin Unified Air Pollution Control District versus the City of Los Angeles. This is an Orange County Superior Court case number 2023-0135-3013-CU-TT-CXC. The second case, also existing litigation, is the City of Los Angeles versus California Air Resources Board. That's a Los Angeles County Superior Court case number 24 STCP 01428. And the Second District Court of Appeal case number B351063. The third matter, also existing litigation, is the case of Faisal Zulfi versus City of Los Angeles and Department of Water and Power. That's Los Angeles Superior Court case number 24 STCB 06678. The fourth matter, also existing litigation, is the case of Eric Smith versus City of Los Angeles Superior Court case number 22-STCV-28160. The fifth item is a conference with legal counsel, again regarding existing litigation in the matter of Paul Shaw versus County et al. That is Los Angeles Superior Court case number 24-STCV-26562. The sixth matter is existing litigation as well, Carlos Flores versus Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, claim number 2006-00889, Workers' Compensation Appeal Board case number ADJ 808178. The seventh matter, existing litigation, is a second amendment to Agreement 4793 between the City of Los Angeles, acting by and through the Department of Water and Power, and the law firm of Everett Dory, LLP. And the last matter is a conference with legal counsel, again, existing litigation, in the matter of a voluntary petition filed by Paul Oliva Paradis under Chapter 11 of the Bankruptcy Code in the Bankruptcy Court for the District of Arizona, subsequently converted to a Chapter 7 proceeding, case number 2:20-BK-06724-PS. The board shall publicly report any action taken in closed session and the vote or abstention of every member present thereon in accordance with Government Code Section 54957.1.
Thank you. So with that, we'll move into closed session and then report out afterwards. Can I start? Yeah. Our closed session has ended. We're now back in open session. I'd ask the City Attorney, Valerie Flores, to please read us out.
Thank you. In closed session, the board unanimously approved on items number 1 and 2, a 998 offer to be extended in the amount of a total of $1.5 million that would be split between the Great Basin Pollution Control District and the impacted tribes. Also on item number 3, the board unanimously approved a settlement in the amount of $800,000. On item number 4, the board unanimously approved a settlement in the amount of $1.25 million. Item number 5, the board, by virtue of adopting the resolution to allow the city attorney to settle matters below the threshold of $250,000, approved the Shaw settlement in the amount of $162,000. On item number 6, the board unanimously approved a settlement in the amount of $1 million. And the board on number 7 approved an amendment with the law firm, to the contract with the law firm of Everett Dory. And that is the end of the required report out.
Okay, thank you very much. And there being no further business, I, with unanimous consent of the board present, order the meeting adjourned.
Yes, thank you.